High praise be to God. The word of the Lord in this video is about fear. In the book of Exodus chapter 19 verse 9, the Lord says to Moses that, I'm going to come to you in a dense cloud, so that the people will hear me speak with you and will always put their trust in you. Then Moses told the Lord what the people had said. In the book of Exodus chapter 20, God spoke to the people of Israel in his own voice and gave them the 10 commandments, which were, I am the Lord your God who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make for yourself an image in form of anything in heaven above, or on the earth beneath, or in the waters below. You shall not bow down to them or worship them. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, punishing the children for the sin of the parents to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me, but showing love to 1,000 generations of those who love me and keep my commandments. You shall not misuse the name of the Lord your God, for the Lord will not hold anyone guiltless who misuses his name. Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but on the 7th day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, neither you nor your son or daughter, nor your male or female servant, nor your animal, nor a foreigner residing in your towns. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea and all that is in them, but he rested on the 7th day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy. Honor your father and your mother, so that you may live long in the land the Lord your God is giving you. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not give false testimony against your neighbor. You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, or his male or female servant, his ox or donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor. Then Exodus chapter 20 verse 18 to 19 says that, when the people saw the thunder and the lightning and heard the trumpet and saw the mountain in smoke, they trembled with fear. They stayed at a distance and said to Moses, Speak to us yourself and we will listen, but do not have God speak to us or we will die. Notice the kind of fear that the people of Israel now have for the Lord after this encounter with him. The fear was so great, they thought they would die. They thought they would die if God spoke to them, so they asked Moses to speak to them instead. In verse 20, the word of the Lord says that, Moses said to the people, Do not be afraid. God has come to test you, so that the fear of God will be with you to keep you from sinning. And then verse 21 says that the people remained at a distance while Moses approached the thick darkness where God was. In the book of Exodus chapter 34, on top of Mount Sinai, God asked Moses to write down the 10 commandments on the tablets and give them to the people of Israel. In Exodus chapter 34 verse 29, the word of the Lord says that, when Moses came down from Mount Sinai with the 2 tablets of the covenant law in his hands, he was not aware that his face was radiant because he had spoken with the Lord. Then verse 30 says that, when Aaron and all the Israelites saw Moses, his face was radiant and they were afraid to come near him. So notice that they were afraid to come near him. They were afraid to come near him because they were afraid of God. When they saw his face, they saw the glory of God. But notice that Moses was not aware that his face was radiant. Then verse 31 and 32 goes on and says that, but Moses called to them. So Aaron and all the leaders of the community came to him, and he spoke to them. Afterward, all the Israelites came near him, and he gave them all the commands the Lord had given him on Mount Sinai. God is to be feared because he alone is God. Fear can also be a weapon that the enemy uses, so too much fear is not good. But there should always be reverential fear of God among believers. Reverential fear of God keeps people from sinning. People obey God, they listen to him, and take his word seriously.